Hi guys, it's Nina from VR Focus. I'm joined by
Steve Goss. I'm Creative Director at Supermassive Games.
So you guys have created a few VR games. Can you kind of give me a brief summary of all of the games you've created in VR?
Sure, yeah. I mean, we've been on a VR journey since 2013. We did our initial VR titles with Sony. We did Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. We did The Inpatient. We did Bravo Team and Tumble VR. And we did those over the last couple of years. And then in the last year, we've been working on Shattered State as a new project.
Is that also a Sony VR game as well?
No, it's on release. It's exclusive to Daydream.
How come that sudden shift to a different platform?
I think there are creative opportunities, and I think actually platform is really interesting because I don't think VR is flat. I don't think a headset makes every single type of VR the same. And we wanted to look at what we could do with other platforms. I think we've worked with very high-end platforms and very popular platforms like Sony's VR platform. And doing something on a mobile VR platform is a big challenge. You know, bringing our production values into that space, that's been something we wanted to try to do. We wanted to see how we could make that. And we also wanted to make a story which was a play experience that could be consumed on a mobile VR device. So for lots of creative reasons and technical reasons, it was a challenge we really felt we wanted to go for. And we came up with, I think, a story and an idea which I think sits well on the platform.
In Shattered State, who are you? Who do you play? Where are you? What are your objectives?
Okay, so we give you the role of the director of the National Intelligence Agency, which is a fictitious federal security organization in a fictitious country. But it's a fictitious country that pulls values from the real world. It's a country riven by political, disagreement. It's a country with nationalism and, liberalism and minorities. So it reflects a kind of a super view of what countries look and feel like. And we put you into a political situation which is going to be this country's worst ever day. And we ask you to make decisions on the fate of the nation. So it's an interesting role. None of us are ever going to become, no, some of us will be. I'm certainly not going to ever become the director of the FBI or something. So I think that's kind of an interesting place to put you, and then challenge you with decisions which I'm sure we all shout at the TV, I could make a better decision. Well, here's your opportunity. And
the design of the game, from what I played, did I play the whole game?
Yes, you did.
I did play the whole game, and when you play it, it kind of has different options that you can choose from, and depending on what decision you choose, you've got different outcomes. How many different outcomes do you have? Which ways can you go?
You know my quaint old-fashioned views, but, well, it's your call.
So, like Until Dawn, it's a branching narrative. It's an interactive drama. It's a branching narrative. And there are a lot of possible endings, but there are lots of possible paths as well. And there are many ways to navigate the matrix, the different characters, who you side with. I mean, you can turn tail on people, you can upend things. We give you a lot of freedom within it. At a certain point, you start to assemble a worldview and start to do the things that answer the problems you're given in maybe in certain ways. But there are many endings. I don't think I should tell you quite how many, but I know that you've experienced more than one.
And how many hours of gameplay is it going to be?
I think that's down to how much you want to replay it and how many times you do it. The core story takes around about an hour to experience. And we've designed that because we understand the mobile device, and we've worked with Google to understand that capability. And I felt it would be great to put the headset on and play the whole thing and get to the end and then go, wow.
So if I play this game and my friend plays it, we've got different sort of endings and we can play it over and over again.
So I would hope that not only do you get different endings, but you also get different kind of key moments. So at the end of the game, we have we have your story, which presents a kind of a timeline of the key events that you did. And those moments of crisis can be different, even within a similar feeling story. You make a certain decision later than I make it, or earlier. That will have different effects. So we try to help you kind of see the possibility, and the next time you play it, because we really want you to replay it, make a whole bunch of different decisions and see how that feels different.
Is there any way I can compare my story with another person's story? Are we able to like compare our stories and see what decisions we made and how that affected us?
We don't have anything within the app that does that. We do, obviously, we hope that people, and our experience with Until Dawn was very much, people play the game and then they talk about what they've played. They go, this happened, well that didn't happen to me. And you go, well this, no. And suddenly people start to realise it was completely different. Mm-hmm. Even if initially they think, well, it's similar. And actually we've tried to make it so the possible distance between the furthest types of ending are a long, long way apart. They really are, as far as we could kind of push the story, yet keep you in the same story. People look at storytelling and they look at it in a kind of a linear medium way. You look at it like film, you look at it like, you know, books or whatever, but that's not what stories have to be. Stories can be driven by your decisions. And then putting it in VR, the sense of presence, the sense of being that person making those decisions, I think that's quite a powerful experience. And we hope that, combined with our well-written story and our great characters, is really quite compelling. And people want to go, you know what, I didn't like what Ted did, I'm going to try it again. And have another go. And there's that compulsion. And so we've seen it in Until Dawn, we've seen it in The Inpatient, we've seen that kind of play. And this game is very much trying to capitalise upon that kind of creative direction.
So I know there's probably a lot of technical difficulties bringing this to a standalone headset. Are you interested in bringing it to other standalone headsets that are coming out potentially as well?
So we're focusing on Daydream. That's been our kind of our world. It has been challenging though. I mean, you know, bringing kind of some of the production values, getting the performance capture, because we've shot this and we've scripted it and we've created it exactly the same way we create any of our other games. We have not compromised in the way we would write a story, the way we would get a performance, the type of actors we've employed. We've kept everything at the same fidelity. Now, of course, bringing that onto a mobile phone is quite challenging, and we have had to make some technical changes. But I think if you pick up the game and you play it, you'll see that they're believable characters, well scripted, well realised, you can empathise with them. So those values became very important. And as a studio, those are things we hold very, very dear to our hearts. Putting it on a mobile platform, yes, there were some edges to it, but we kind of pushed them quite hard, I think. It'll be very interesting to see what people, you know, when they pick it up and play it, what they think, but I think we kind of pushed the platform pretty hard.
I mean, just out of curiosity focusing on one platform, I understand, but surely you'd want as many people as possible to play your content and experience it. And if you can put it on, you know, a VR headset that does bring up the capabilities of the textures and the motion capture of characters, would you not want that?
Well, sure, absolutely. But we took the view that working with Daydream was the biggest audience that we could take this to. And I say we've done things on the higher end platforms. We really wanted to do something in a different space, in a different place. Find a different audience. And one of the things we discovered as we did Until Dawn and our subsequent VR products as well, is that one of the things we've done successfully is find new players. Yeah, we've found people who, you know, want a new experience. I don't want to shoot things, do something different. And I think this platform is ideally positioned to let us talk to a different audience.
So when is the game coming out?
It comes out today.
And how much was it going to be?
It's going to be $10, $7.99 in the UK.
Amazing, and that's going to be worldwide release?
I believe that's the case, yes, we're releasing in a lot of territories. We are active across all social media, so we have a whole bunch of that stuff. And yes, of course, you can come straight to the Supermassive Games website and you can send us information.
And just to wrap it up, are you guys working on another VR game, maybe for a different platform or a completely different genre?
We have quite a few games in development, some of which we've announced, like the Dark Pictures, which is not a VR game, it's a a regular flat telly game.
Not interested in that one.
Yeah, but we have other games in development, yes.
All right, well, thank you very much.
No, thank you.
Head over to vrfocus.com if you want to find out more about virtual reality, and I will see you in the next video.